How you vibing? It's Lee.
It's Devin.
And we're back with another episode of Dia Vibes. A little brief video going over a few things, such as subbed versus dubbed, a couple of manga we'd like to see as an anime, and some of our favorite voice actors. Subbed anime versus dubbed anime. I know everyone has their own personal preference, as do we. When it comes to me and my own personal preferences, it's usually about what I see first, is what I'm going to go with. In a lot of cases, I see a lot of subbed first because a lot of good anime has been subbed and it's not released over here in a dubbed format. And it makes a big difference to you what you hear first. In my case, Naruto, I watched it subbed first. I never seen it in English until about a year after it was over here. And I did not like it. I wasn't a fan of mostly Naruto's voice actor. It bothered me, so I couldn't do it. So, like animes like Blue Exorcist, I saw them in Japanese first. Loved it. And that's what I'm going to stick with. Sub versus dub, this is how I feel. What about you?
I'm a little different because I personally, like I said in the first episode, I don't have anything against subs. I just don't like it when I already know what the English voice actor sounds like. You know, suspect a particular voice for a particular character. That's what I like to hear. There's nothing against it. It's just that's my preference on it. That's a little bit of a division in our house when it comes to that.
Yeah, but why can't you just watch this? Because I already know what it sounds like. I don't like it.
Exactly, but I have nothing against it because I watch Korean drama and I watch Korean movies, horror, whatever. And I have nothing against it. It's not that I can't read and watch a movie at the same time. It's just for my anime, if I've already heard it in English. Just like if he's already heard it in Japanese, he prefers it that way to whereas I've already heard it in English. So that's what I like.
I do like watching Korean dramas and I prefer some of them to be translated in English. Because it just be a lot going on sometimes in the dramas, and I just want to see it and hear it at the same time.
That's true.
But you know, I'm just odd like that. Some manga that I'd like to see, period, in animated format because I thought the mangas were so awesome. There's two in particular that I really, really want. They're Korean manga called manhwas. The first one is Veritas, and the second one is The Breaker and its sequel, The Breaker New Waves. They're both centered around students learning to fight from a badass master. So Veritas is about the protagonist. He's the guy who gets into fights. Think Yusuke Urameshi times 10 because he's an asshole. And he just wants to get into a fight all the time to prove his strength. And he runs into a martial arts master who shows him his strength is nothing. And he begs and begs and begs to be trained by this guy for an entire year, proving himself until he finally does. And he only trains him for 2 months before he goes off on a mission and is apparently killed. And then from that point on, the manga spirals off into him trying to find out who killed his master, him mastering his skills while at this new school, and dealing with these new enemies and allies. The other manga, The Breaker, the same kind of situation in the beginning, except for the protagonist, he is not a bully. He's getting bullied. He's a little wimp. He's very meek, very small, and he wants to do better in life. So he gets trained by this guy who is a real badass. He earned the title called Nine Arts Dragon. Look him up. He's real badass. You'll love the show. Well, the manga. We want it to be a show. He gets trained, and then over the course of the story, as he goes along with the master, and the master's having his fights, the master declares war against the good guys organization, basically, and then destroys his student's ability to fight. So then they have the second part where the student has to relearn how to fight and try to combat his master. Look it up. Look both of them up. The Breaker and Veritas. Those are two that I really need to be animated. Please, anime gods, make that animated.
Please make at least one of these anime that I have. Like I said, my manga collection is not that long, so forgive me. But one of the best mangas that I've read is actually received a award for one of the best shoujo mangas. It's called Blackbird, and it's basically about a girl who is able to see supernatural things. She's always followed by them. She could always see them, but they never bothered her. They never, did anything. But when she turned 16, it was like it changed. They started trying to kill her, and she had no idea why,
Because she became a lady.
But she ended up being protected by her childhood friend, who we later find out he is a demon. He is a bird demon. And demons, basically, they need her blood because now there's something about her blood that makes them basically invincible.
Estrogen equals steroids, apparently.
So you should really check that out. It's really, really good. Another manga that I am wanting to see as an anime, because I think it'd be really good, is Dawn of the Arcana. And it's basically a girl who gets married into what's considered a royal family. And royals all have black hair. That's been since the beginning of time. They're supposed to have black hair. You know, that means you're a royal. But she has red hair. She's one of the only royals that does not have the black hair, the trademark that everyone else has. And she basically is her and this prince trying to make it work, but he's very pompous and spoiled, so. But again, I didn't get to finish it. I'm going to try to find it online so I can. And I'll get back to you on that. Another manga that was really good, Absolute Boyfriend. It was good, but it was depressing. And it was basically a girl who never had a boyfriend. She ends up making her dream guy online. And she accidentally orders him. He shows up to the door. And the way to activate him is for her to kiss him. And then when she activates him, he is instantly in love with her. He protects her. And
so, pause. This chick literally has a mail order boyfriend.
Yes.
Just in time for Valentine's Day.
Just in time. Basically, they end up falling for each other, but these feelings that he's having for her aren't part of his program. He's not supposed to have these human-like feelings, which causes him to malfunction, and eventually he passes away. And it's pretty sad. It's really sad, but it's really good. Believe it or not, it had me crying. And the last manga that I would like to see is Dangeki Daisy. And it's a girl who lost her brother. He passed away. I think he was sick. And he basically gives her a phone and tells her that whenever she's in trouble, whenever she needs anything, just call Daisy. And Daisy will be there for her. And she ends up never telling Daisy, that she needs help until she actually does. It comes to find out Daisy is the superintendent that she's employed to right now because she broke a window at the school. And he basically said, I'm not paying for that, so you're going to work. And so I just started. I'm only on the first book, but I'll keep you tuned in on that. But I think it's going to be very, very, very good.
From what I read of it, it's kind of funny, so I'm actually down to see it too, honestly.
Yeah.
But these things we want to see as an anime wouldn't be nothing without voice actors. So some of our favorite voice actors have made careers in doing this for years and years and years, making people happy with just the power of their voice, and I commend them for it. One of my favorites is from one of the first animes I've ever seen, Ronin Warriors, and that's Matt Hill. He voiced the lead character, Ryo Sanada, Arm of Wildfire, Dao Chi. Yes, I loved him. But he also voiced Kira Yamato from Gundam Seed. He voiced Banketsu from Inuyasha, and even Ed from Ed, Edd n Eddy. So these actors have a wide range. One of my other favorite actors is Steve Bloom. Y'all know him as the voice of Spike Spiegel. You also might know him as the voice of Tom from Toonami if you watched anime in America like most of the kids here. And he also voiced Mugen from Samurai Champloo, Shishio from Rurouni Kenshin, even Jamie from Megas XLR. So voice actors have a wide range and need to be supported, and it'd be great if they get in some of these series that I want to see animated.
Yes, yeah, it'll be so great. My list is kind of long, so I don't want to bore you with names, but my favorites from different animes, Inuyasha, of course, Richard Cox, he is great. I think he did a great job as Inuyasha, as well as his co-star, Monica Story. She was a She is so awesome because
she
I love
that
Kagome.
character. She did that well.
I love Kagome. Like I said, Kagome is one of those chicks who, yeah, she got caught a lot. She got kidnapped a lot, but she held her own.
Did not stay victimized.
And she was a ride die.
Like you.
Aww. Then there's Jillian Michaels, Kirby Morrow, Kelly Sheridan, Paul Dobson, Willow Johnson, Scott McNeil, David K. In case you didn't know, those are like Shippo, Moroku Sango, Naraku Kikyo, and
Koga and
Shishomaru. You know, and Dragon Ball Z, and you know, there's Christopher Sabat, who has also voiced characters in Yu Yu Hakusho. There's Eric Vale, voice of Trunks, and we in case you didn't know, we enjoy us some Trunks. He is awesome.
He is the man.
Future Trunks. Goku, Gohan.
John Shamel, he's the man.
Yes.
Goku
Yes, he
and
is.
King Kai, you did your thing.
You did your thing.
Kyle Hubert, I enjoy you as a dope Gohan.
Yeah.
Stephanie Natalie, you killed it as Gohan as a child and Kid Goku. I appreciate it. Without you, I probably wouldn't still be watching anime.
Stephanie, you're great. You did awesome in Cell Saga. For you, Hakusho, of course, Justin Cook, Christopher Sabat, Chuck Hooper,
I guess Huber. I'm thinking Huber.
John Bergmere.
Yeah. John Bergmere.
Kurama. Big ups. Then, you know, there is Laura Bailey, you know, Keiko, Cynthia Kranz.
Botan.
I love Botan. But Sean Teague, who's Kawima. There's Kent Williams, he's the narrator. So he's also apparently the voice actor for Kawima's Ogre. There's Kyle Herbert, who's Jin.
The voice of Adult Gohan.
The voice of Adult Gohan. Good job. Daniel Katsuke, Suzuka. Beautiful Suzuka. I picked him out because I did like that character. I enjoyed him.
He was honest.
Yeah, he was.
I liked him. He was like, you know what? I'm not that strong. I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
Exactly. And the fact that he gave Kurama and Kuwabara those items they needed for the Dark Tournament, so that's why he was one of my favorites. Eric Vale, who's the voice of Trunks, but he was also the voice of Rando, and I liked Rando. And then there's Damian Clark, who was the voice of Young Toguro.
As well as the voice of Cell from Dragon Ball Z and Scar from Full Metal Alchemist. So this dude was an amazing villain, period.
Yes. I love Toguro. That, you know, you have to have a favorite villain. Everyone has to have one, and that's mine of Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
So, and if Funimation is watching, please consider some of these.
Yes, please pick some of them up. I think you'd be a great studio for it.
Yes.
And I don't care what you do, subbed or dubbed, just make it animated. So that's what we want. That's what we got for you this week. So, I mean, if you liked the video, leave us a like. If you really liked it, leave us a subscription. You know, subscribe to us. You know, hit that button. Hit it. Press it. Do it a couple times. No, 3 times because you would unsubscribe. You know. As always, peace, love, and good vibes. We'll see you next time.